So we could have went anywhere and shot this. We could have went to a pub and sat in a nice setting kind of thing. We figured we'd sit at home, but we've all got our ribs, corn, sausages, potato bake. It's a pretty typical feed in our household. But this is, but we're going to answer all you guys' questions.
Frequently asked questions.
We're going to answer all the frequently asked questions in the comments. Let's get into it.
So a lot of people have asked about how much you get paid and do you get a kilometre rate?
I'm on trip rate. Trip rate is just a set fee per trip. So Brisbane to Sydney is a certain rate, is a certain amount. And then when we get paid set loading fees per trailer kind of thing, and per load and unload. We make decent money, but I won't get into any specific numbers or anything like that. Just, I don't know, just not something I want to do.
Yeah.
Because then I'm telling the world how much my colleagues make as well. So I think how we get paid is as far as I'll go.
That's pretty fair.
But that's about it.
Yeah. This dude said, "Hi Jack."
My name isn't Jack, it's Jacques. Jacqueus. I understand why people think it's Jack, but Jacques.
People have asked how you got into your job with Don Watson's.
So I've explained this before, but when COVID hit, I was driving rigids around Brisbane delivering doors and windows onto construction sites for a bloke. That's when I really started taking notice of big rigs, like of heavy duty trucks, for the Kenworths and Bdoubles and things like that on the highway. And then my boss started sending me up to Gympie, up to Harvey Bay. I went as far south as Yamba once. I used to go to Lismore quite a bit. And then I kind of just told my wife, me and my wife kind of talked about it one day, and I said that I want to get my MC license and go trucking, to which she agreed, because we had a newborn and we needed more money and we needed a bigger car. So on the Saturday I went and got my MC license, manual. So on the Friday I done the gearbox test, and then Saturday I done the driving test and I passed both of them. Monday morning, I told my wife I was going to wait a couple months or something before I tried to get another job. I think I was just a bit nervous. Shh. Give him the rest of that. I think I was just a bit nervous about crossing over into big rigs kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was talking myself out of actually calling around. And then one day, because I used to work across the road from Don Watson on Lytton Road, I used to work across at Lineage, which is the cold store directly across the road. When I saw the Don Watson ad on Seek, I already knew where they were, what their trucks looked like and things like that. So instead of putting my application in through Seek, I like talking directly to people, because when you talk to people, they get a better gauge on who you are, what kind of person you are, things like that. So I called the head office. I called the office down in Melbourne for Don Watson. I asked to talk to whoever it was that was taking care of the hiring, and I got through to my boss, who's my boss today. He basically brought me in. For an interview. A couple of days later, and I had a job by the Friday, I think. But that story, I think I told that story in vlog 4 or 3, one of those. And I think because of the driver shortage that happened as a result of the pandemic, that I got really lucky in the fact that that they gave me a job really quickly. Yeah, which I kind of knew that I was using the driver shortage to my advantage to get into a better paying job. So yeah.
Cool. The next one is about food on the road and how you stay healthy. How do you ensure you get like good food and not stuff that's full of vegetable oils and sugars?
So
look after yourself.
I know I take frozen meals every week, and they're pretty good food, because obviously my wife has a toddler to feed, so she can't just cook him crap every week and then freeze some of it and give it to me for work. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll take food. Sometimes I'll go through phases where I take food and don't eat a single gram of it and eat takeaways the whole week. I've basically just come out of one of those phases, and in those phases that I go through, where I'm too lazy to heat up my own food, where I don't want to eat my own food, I probably put on 10 kilos at a time. So I'm not the
Sorry.
Thanks, babe. So in terms of keeping healthy on the road, I'm not the person to talk to about that.
Is it age that you said?
Yeah. So I think that's right. I think I've got a bit of age on my side, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, once I come out of those phases, after putting on 10 kilos at a time, it drops off me very quickly. Yeah, I'm not the person to talk to about how to stay healthy on the road. The only reason why I'm not a balloon is because I have a wife at home cooking food for me. That's basically it. So, next question.
Okay. Someone's asked if you could share any problematic encounters that you've had with the authorities as far as logbooks and roadworthy regulations.
Yeah. So, I've been done twice, like pretty minor things. Twice I got fined for the same thing, and that's not catching my logbook up while I was on break and just leaving, because I've got the app in my phone. Sometimes I'll log my brakes and everything in my phone, and the app will be caught up. But if you've got a paper book, the apps don't matter. So you can't pull into a weighbridge and your book's not caught up and your app is, and try and use the app. They won't let you do it.
So how do you overcome that one? You just fill it out every
Yeah,
time?
I just stopped being lazy with my logbook and filled it out every time I stop.
Okay, next question is someone's asked about the kinds of things that drivers may do unwittingly that place themselves or yourself at risk on the road.
Car drivers. Oh, it's the normal stuff. Like, cars cut us off all the time. I had one guy on that trip in vlog, on the trip in vlog 5, when I was going past the Canberra exit, just past Goulburn there, going south. I literally had a guy come up beside me 100 mile an hour, and then he almost merged into the driver's side of my prime mover. Like, he was just, I don't know what he was thinking, but it happened that fast that I didn't have time to hit the brakes. I just swerved I just put the truck on the shoulder and then slowed it down and then jumped back on. Yeah, it's just cutting trucks off and things like that. But
going too slow as well, right?
Yeah, and like when car drivers jump in front of trucks and slow down and things like that. But honestly, I've always thought differently to most people about the issue that is people sitting in braking space of trucks. I've always thought that it's not their fault that they're ignorant to the fact that we're so heavy. People need to be educated on things like this, but the government only puts up signs on the highway telling people to keep a safe distance from trucks. Like, it should be a part of people's licenses, and it also should be a part of our licenses too, because there is two sides involved. Every time a car jumps in front of a truck, we know that we need the braking space. A lot of us, including myself sometimes, are too stubborn and can't swallow our pride and back the truck off because it takes so long to get back up to speed, and that's just an annoying thing. But I don't think it's the type of vehicle that people are driving that makes them an issue. I think it's the fact that everyone's pride gets in the way. Some car drivers don't want to give space for trucks, and some trucks don't want to give space for cars. It's just how it is.
Next question is best and worst toilets for the interstate trip.
They're all the worst toilets. There's no such thing as good toilets.
Oh, yuck.
Even truck stop toilets. The only toilets that are clean are the family rooms. Like, tip for people travelling interstate, we shouldn't use the family rooms. But if I walk into a truck stop and every toilet is disgusting, I'll go and press that green button and open up the family room and then lock it behind me and then do whatever I need to do. They're all horrible. There's no such thing as good public toilets. Not in Australia anyway.
And best and worst, I guess, if you have a worst, but like servo food.
It's hard. The best servo foods, because all the big ones like Ampol, which is Caltex, BP, Shell, they all have set menus in every single shop that you walk into. Yeah, but the best one that I always preach about is Arachula, the Shell Service Centre. They have really good coffee. I don't know I think they have a really good coffee machine, or their beans come from Costa Rica or something. But they make sandwiches. They have Turkish bread, and then there's sausage, bacon, and egg sandwiches. There's eggs Benedict sandwiches. I love all of them.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
People have asked, what is the purple light flashing on your dash?
Yeah, I've answered this heaps in the comments. That's a Guardian system. It's just an eyesight monitoring system. So basically, if we close our eyes for, I think it's 2 or 3 seconds, even during a yawn, that system, it wakes you up with a beep, and then we have something called seat shakers in our seats. It's just a big vibrator that just vibrates the hell out of the seat. It gives you a proper fright when it goes off. Sometimes it'll go off if you're just sitting there filling out paperwork, looking down at what you're writing while your parking brakes are released, and then it won't stop going off. That's happened to me a couple times. But yeah, it's just a safety system. I have no complaints about it, to be honest with you.
And you can't actually see the flashing, hey? It's like an infrared
yeah,
flash.
and
Yeah.
I know it shows up as flashing lights on camera, but that's just how the camera picks up on it. I think it's
infrared.
Yeah, it's infrared, so
yeah,
it's just shining beams at us constantly. I don't know how infrared works.
Someone asked, do you have a reversing camera?
No, we don't have reversing cameras, and I would never trust reversing cameras. Next question.
Next question. What is compression braking?
Compression braking, is that really a question?
Yeah.
It's actually pretty interesting what compression braking actually is. So compression braking is exactly what it says. All that compression braking is, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I don't mind. But as far as I know, compression braking, it's just a system that adds air into the top of the cylinders. That adds air into the top of each cylinder, and that extra air in the top of the cylinder, when the piston's on its upstroke, slows the pistons down, which then slows the whole driveline down. That's why when compression brakes, when you can hear trucks using their Jake brakes, that's why you can hear it going digga 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 digga, because that's the sound of each piston being slowed down. If that makes sense. I don't even know if I explained that properly, but that's what I know about compression braking.
Someone said, pleased to meet you, John.
Well, my name's John.
John.
Thanks, bud. Thanks. I need to put my name in every video, I think.
Or even like on the channel somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've still got to go through and do heaps of little stuff, but yeah, we'll just keep hearing how we are at the moment.
Yeah. Wow. Someone said, do you mind if I come along for the ride? Haha.
Is that Road Train Adventures?
Yeah.
No, I don't think our insurance allows it.
Someone actually did ask if you can take family members on the drive with you.
Yeah, we can take passengers. I don't know what the reasoning is, but it's only in the holiday periods that we're allowed to take passengers.
Someone's asked how you stay cool in the truck during the night when the engines are open.
So that's what bunk coolers are used for here in Australia. I'm not sure how many other countries would use them. There's all kinds of different bunk coolers. Some are good, some aren't. The cooler bars are some of our trucks have cooler bars on them. They're really good systems. They're reverse cycle air conditioners that run completely on their own power source, from what I remember. I don't have one of those. I have a Viesa, and that's about all I'll say about the Viesa, because it's horrible.
Someone's asked about, have you ever run over a kangaroo before?
Yeah, I've run over tons of kangaroos. Everyone's run over tons of kangaroos, especially on the New England highway. You see them every now and again on the Hume and on the Coast Road, but I always see them on the New England. The New England highway goes between Warwick and Tamworth, I think, and then it turns into the Hunter Valley. There's always kangaroos on that, especially when I'm on those Inverell runs. I'll try and get some on film. I'll try and get some on film one day, but it's always pitch black when I'm going out there. So. And
does it impact the truck when you hit a kangaroo?
Nah. No. They just, like, if a truck hits a kangaroo and if you're going fast enough, it turns it into bird feed instantly.
But you said the wallabies are a bit more.
Yeah, so kangaroos turn into mulch. Wombats,
Yeah.
they're tricky because there's stories about wombats rolling trucks because they're such a dense animal. If a staffy and a fat possum had a baby, that you'd get a wombat, and they're dense, and I have hit one in the truck in my big cab, but luckily I hit him right in the middle of the front bar, and I think it just chopped him in half. It was a bit of a bang though. Yeah, it's scary hitting them.
Wow.
Every time if there's dead wombats on the shoulder of the road, everyone calls it out because no one wants to run over a wombat with their wheels. Porcupines,
Echidnas.
babe, we have porcupines here.
Oh, I thought it was only echidnas.
Oh,
Echidnas
porcupines or echidnas. I don't know if we have porcupines. Something with spikes on it that can pop truck tires.
Oh.
I've run over one of those as well. I just didn't see it, and he was sitting on the road, and luckily, and I didn't. It was the first time that I ever run one over, so I didn't think anything of it. So I made it all, and I had a road train on, so I made it all the way back to Brisbane, and I woke up in the morning and looked at my tires just to do some walkarounds, and I had big spikes sticking out of my steer tire on the passenger side like that long, and they didn't go. Luckily for me, I didn't pop a steer tire.
Wow.
Yeah.
Someone's asked how many hours of the day can you work, and how many of that can be driving. How many hours total before I reset? So
we can, in 24 hours, we can work 14 hours, and we have 17 hours to do it. So just say in a 17-hour period, we've got 3 of those can be rest and 14 of those can be work. Sometimes you rest for longer than 3 hours. So say I have 5 hours breaks. Say I have 5 hours breaks in a 17-hour period when I start my book. I only have 12 hours left to drive. Yeah, I only have 12 hours left to drive, and yeah, that's to make sense of it, you kind of have to be doing it constantly.
Yeah.
So I won't go too far into all that kind of stuff.
Someone has asked for like a breakdown of different types of trailers, like single, double, Bdoubles, so on. Just for people who don't understand the trucks but they want to.
I'll enter in a Google image that I know of about the different combinations here in Australia. But obviously when I talk about singles, I'm talking about just semi-trailers. A B-double is an A-trailer. There, an A-trailer with a B-trailer sitting on a turntable at the back of it. So an A-double is a lead trailer with a dolly and a dog trailer. So they can either be road trains or just PBS A-doubles, which are the big grain hauling trucks that you see all throughout Australia. And then obviously you've got triples, triple trains and double trains, and there's tons of combinations in Australia that I haven't even seen half of them, to be honest with you. And then of course you got the super quads, which are the mining, but yeah, I've got no experience at all with those. So. By the way, everything that I think I know and say, and the answer to all these questions, other people might have different answers to them. I'm pretty green in the industry as a driver, so I don't know everything there is to know by a long shot. So if I'm wrong with anything, or anybody disagrees with me, tell me in the comments. I'm not a loser. Like, I don't get mad at people for for saying I'm wrong.
Yeah. Someone's asked if you have the same truck every day.
Yeah, so we get allocated trucks. Like I had a standard cab K200 when I first started. I had that for about 3 months, and then they gave me the fat cab. Then I had the fat cab for about just over 12 months, and then I gave that up for a brand new K200, which I eventually gave back because there was teething issues with the truck. And I wasn't interested in being a part of trying to sort them out. And then just so happens the bloke that got my big cab after me, he jumped out of the big cab, so then I got my big cab back. And now they have to shoot me to get me out of my big cab because that truck and I are best buds, I reckon. For line haul drivers, our trucks do get used on changeovers when we're at home for the weekend, and for local if the locals are short on prime movers. But other than that, unless we go on holiday, no one else drives our trucks. But we're really the only line haul drivers that drive our trucks.
When you first started working with Watsons, did they make you go out with someone else first, or did they just hand you the keys?
No, they just threw me the keys. The pandemic was in full swing, social distancing, things like that. I basically got thrown a set of keys, sent a text message and told to hit the highway. I was so fresh that like I didn't even think about fueling up my truck or nothing when I got into the yard. I was just that nervous. I was running on adrenaline for the first month probably. Just no experience in line haul. But there's beauty in that because when you get out of a period like that of high anxiety and stress and things like that because you don't know the job then becomes really enjoyable because you kind of stressed out for months and then you learnt everything you need to learn and you become a good enough operator to do the job as you should. It just, yeah, that's why I enjoy the job. And like now, even going into new places with Bdoubles and road trains, it gives me a bit of angst, but it doesn't really stress me out like it used to, because I know that one, if I take a wrong turn in a road train, worst case scenario is I have to split the trailers up, take them back and reset myself on the road that I'm meant to be on, which is like an hour's work. Yeah. Like, and Bdoubles, like you can reverse Bdoubles out of anywhere. It's not that hard. Yeah, and it's the same thing. If you need to, you can split the trailers up and run them back out to where you need to go. It's not for people that are new and you're scared of taking wrong turns. That's normal, like especially when you don't know where you're going and the size of the trucks start to intimidate you, but you just get used to it. It's that feeling never goes away. I said it in my last vlog, I think.
There's an interesting question here about reversing Bdoubles, and I just thought that it would be cool if you shared a story of that time that you had to just throw the yardie the keys. Yeah, when I was brand new, reversing doubles, if like you need to practice it. Like some people, I've seen drivers start on HCs, get their Bdouble license and know how to reverse a Bdouble pretty quickly. But for me, it took me months to. The first like few times, I just got out of the truck and asked people to do it for me so I could watch. If you're a new driver, don't be afraid to do that. If there's someone there that knows how to do it, ask them for help, because otherwise you start stressing and you start trying to do it faster and faster to get over and done with. That actually makes it harder to do. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help. And when I got good at doing Bdoubles, one of our local drivers, he was in a day cab and I saw him reverse this Bdouble. Like I've never seen anyone reverse a Bdouble before, so I asked him if I could jump in the passenger seat, and I just started asking him questions. And the one thing he told me, which taught me how to really get the hang of reversing Bdoubles, was to swing the prime mover as fast as I can. Because when I was doing it, I was moving the wheels slowly. You have to swing the prime mover as fast as you can to catch the back trailer before it goes too far. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but that's it. You don't have to get reversing in one go. You can sit there for 10 minutes and try and put it into a gap. That's fine. Doesn't matter if there's other people there putting pressure on you. You just keep doing what you're doing, and eventually you'll know how to do it. Like I still have to. I've been good at reversing doubles for over a year, and I still have to correct 3 or 4 times when I'm reversing a double onto a dock. It's just how it is. Time to take a break. Old mate here. He didn't like his dinner. Sometimes he just doesn't like his dinner for no reason. So our solution to that, a toasted ham and cheese with barbecue sauce wrap. Alright, close the fridge. So that might be I think that's the bulk of all the frequently asked questions that you guys need to know. You answer them in the comments, but I thought that we would make a video about it. It was actually my wife's idea. But all your guys' suggestions, like the product reviews, the truck review, the truck stop reviews, the food reviews, things like that, I will find time to do that. But obviously for now, I'm using all my time. Obviously for now, I'm using all my time to shoot vlogs, and I did shoot a truck review on my K200 on the big cab, but I had to. It took up about 20 minutes worth of space on my SD card, and even though I had another SD card that was full of footage that I needed as well, and if I hadn't have deleted that truck review that I filmed, I wouldn't have had space to upload my vlogs for the week. So because I do everything off my phone and my GoPro, like I edit the whole vlog, put it up off my phone after I film it on the GoPro, I have very limited space for footage to be sitting still doing nothing. Like as soon as I put a clip into my app that I use to edit, and then it's on the app, I delete it from the GoPro, I delete it from my phone, everything, just because I need all the space that I can get. I think that's it. This will be a part one. If once there's more questions, we'll make another one. We might go to a pub dinner or something and make another one if there's ever enough questions to make another video. But I hope that helped you guys. Need to know whatever. I hope that helps anyone with questions that they want answered. Keep asking questions in the comments, like always. Thank you for your support and everything that we're doing content wise, and all the kind words and encouraging words that you guys are sending us. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on Wednesday for truck vlog 7.